Welcome to my channel. I'm Chloe Brianna and I want to deep dive into the broken bone theory. And the broken bone theory came across my TikTok and it basically explained that some people have never broken a bone, have never fractured any parts of their body. So they have a deeper level of protection than the average person. But I'm going to read what I found online too. According to this idea, those who've never broken a bone are not just protected from physical harm, they may be chosen for a different kind of suffering. It's as if life has spared their bodies only to test the unseeable parts of them, their minds, their emotions, their spirits. These are the ones who break quietly in places no one can see. Now, the more articles I read, it emphasizes the suffering aspect, and I feel like the concept of the broken bone theory may be more layered and it may be more complex, just in terms of those people may go through more things mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, but they're protected because their purpose is greater than just suffering. They're going through things so that they can tell their stories, so that they can tell their testimonies and maybe be of service and help people who are going through similar situations. Now, I know me, for example, I've never broken a bone. I've never fractured a bone. Honestly, outside of me giving birth to my child, I've never been in the hospital for a long period of time. I'm pretty much physically healthy for the most part, but I have endured a lot of different forms of verbal abuse, betrayal, manipulation. The list goes on and on and on. But honestly, I feel like all those situations that I've been through have made me a stronger person, made me a wiser person, and put me in position to help people who are going through things that I may have went through. So outside of you being protected, you may be being protected so that you can be of service. I think the broken bone theory really just can have a lot more layers, and we get caught on the surface level aspect of it because a lot of times people do like drama, they do like the overly emotional stories, they do like the sadness, and they do like the sorrow because people are addicted to sorrow. And woe is me, I went through this, I went through that, and this is why I'm a bad person, or this is why I never got A, B, and C. But in reality, life is about perception, life is about perspective. If you create a neutral approach and stop looking at things as good or bad, you'll be able to gain reward from anything, regardless if it's quote unquote suffering or not. I always think about those people who go to jail or were in the streets and had hard lives, but they come out and they end up writing a novel, or they learn from their mistakes and they go on to be public speakers, or they go on to be in the public eye as a changed person because they didn't allow their circumstances to become their identity. They learn from what they went through and put themselves in a position to where they can receive reward. So despite the fact you're going through that quote unquote suffering, take time to step outside the situation and figure out what you can learn from it, because your testimony can be beneficial to somebody else. So don't focus on the suffering. Don't focus on the quote unquote hurt, but look at it from a neutral perspective and figure out what these incidents, what these situations could be teaching you, and how they could put you in a better position in life, and how you can use what you've learned to be of service to the world, to be of service of your community, to be of service, even if it's just to your family. You could be their voice or their generational curse breaker to put the younger generation that's coming up behind you in a better position, opposed to just feeling like, woe is me, or I went through all this suffering and I go through all these bad things. I don't think that anyone goes through suffering in vain, and I don't think pain is just purposely portrayed onto people for them to be in a down and out situation for long. You do gain strength, you do learn resilience, and you can grow from those uncomfortable situations. And a lot of times you do have to go through certain situations. A lot of times you do have to go through suffering to evolve and put yourself in a better place. Because had you not been through those situations, you wouldn't have the mental capacity to grow, or you wouldn't be able to react differently in the future. I know a lot of things that I experienced when I was 15 years old, based off me taking time to process my emotions and learn from what I went through. I approach those situations completely different in my 20s. I approach those situations completely different in my 30s. Sometimes you have to go through things a few times to truly see if you learned from the experience and how to come out on the opposite side in a better position. So it's not always about you just suffering or being hurt. It's about you growing and evolving and becoming the best version of yourself as well. So if you find yourself in positions where you feel like all the odds are up against you or you're going through a lot, step outside the situation and figure out what you're supposed to learn. It's a butterfly on my window. I love little omens or getting different messages when I'm doing stuff to just let me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm so grateful. Thank you. But outside of that, take time to really process what you're going through so that you can learn from these situations, so that you can approach them in different ways, and so that you could be beneficial to those that come behind you and just be a voice, be of service, and help people. Like I stated, even with those people who come out and sell those books, you never know. Outside of you helping somebody, you may be able to get rewards such as money or just live a more successful life because you truly learned from your experience, opposed to getting stuck in low vibrational feelings and feeling like a victim or gaining victim consciousness, opposed to looking at it from a neutral perspective and realizing, hey, I'm going through this so that I can be a teacher and so that I can grow and so that I can learn. Tell me your thoughts on the broken bone theory. If you have broken any bones, drop it in the comments and let me know. But I just really think that this is an interesting concept and idea, and that it's probably a lot more layers to it than what people are talking about online. If you do like this type of content or you do like these concepts, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody who stops through and enjoys my content. I appreciate every comment and every subscription. Learn who you are and become who you're meant to be.